Welcome! Today we are speaking with Dr. Bob Milligan, who will address farm business success in turbulent times. Dr. Milligan, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Karen. I'm currently a senior consultant with Dairy Strategies. I also hold the title of Professor Emeritus from Cornell University after spending 28 years there. Today, it's really important to think about the future. We live in exciting and turbulent times. Dairy has actually been the poster child for this turbulence. If you look at the graph on the screen, this is milk price from 1961 through 2010. You can see the incredible increased variability in recent years. When we add corn and hogs to the mix, the variability is not quite as large, but still much greater in recent years. In addition, this is not strictly a phenomenon of agriculture. Turbulence has accelerated in our economy and throughout the world. The graph on the screen shows the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and again note the tremendous increased variability in the last few decades. I refer to this turbulence in our ag economy and our general economy as turbulence x turbulence. What I'd like you to do is think about this question. What is the greatest change, say in the last 5 years, in how you lead and manage as a result of this increased variability?
That is a great question. Dr. Milligan, how would you answer it?
My answer would be increased urgency. The speed of literally everything is accelerating, and urgency is everywhere. This increased urgency, however, creates a real dilemma. And what I want you to think about now is, what does increased urgency create in most farm or business cultures? The answer to that question is unfortunately not good. It's stress, anxiety, reduced motivation, reduced productivity. So the $64,000 question then becomes, how do we create a sense of urgency without hurting these key productivity measures? My answer to that question is that we have to create in our businesses and our farms a true urgency culture.
So what is it that defines a true urgency culture?
Karen, what we're going to do is we're going to look at 4 keys to what the owner, the leader of a business, including a farm or an agribusiness, has to do to create this true urgency culture. The first is leadership. The owners must lead the farm toward a true urgency culture. We've spent the last several decades learning how to become great managers. Now we need to also become great leaders. Marcus Buckingham says great leaders rally people to a better future. We can also think about the difference between management and leadership as management's efficiency in climbing the ladder. It's efficiency in doing what we're doing now. Leadership determines whether that ladder, whether what we're doing right now is leaning against the right wall. And the challenge in this turbulence x turbulence is that the ladder is moving very, very rapidly. And so I believe the future of the farm business has to be someone's top priority. I often say someone has to roll out of bed in the morning thinking about the future of the business. And that's really a change in mindset for most of us. John Maxwell says the challenge of leadership is to create change and facilitate growth. That's a different mindset than what we're used to. The second key also has to do with that change. The entire workforce must view change as opportunity. Why is that so important? Well, the reality is that research shows that we as human beings follow one of 2 patterns when a change occurs in our lives, whether it's at home or at work. One of those change patterns we follow when we view the change as a loss. The other we follow when we perceive the change will be an opportunity for us. Now let me ask you 2 questions. Which of those 2 responses is more likely in our agrarian culture? I think we'll have to answer that question as change as loss. The second question, which response is going to be necessary to thrive in turbulent times? And now I think we have to recognize the key importance of viewing change as opportunity. Our third key then is everyone, and that's every owner, every manager, every employee must focus on what's important every day. We can look at this best by contrasting false urgency with true urgency. False urgency is frenetic activity. People are running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Versus true urgency, well, there's still urgency, but it's not that frenetic. It's a focus. It's focused on important activities. Many people that I talk to about this topic love the statement, relentless purging of the irrelevant. Another way to think of it is false urgency is doing more and more with less and less. And we hear that almost every day. Compare that with true urgency, where with that focus, we're doing more and more of what is important and less of what is unimportant. Our fourth key, then, is that the entire workforce feels energetic and vital. This is the opposite of false urgency, where we've had those bad results of urgency, of stress, being people are lethargic, they're disinterested, they're anxious, they're stressed. Whereas through the first three keys of leadership, change, and focus on urgency, we've created a culture where the entire workforce has energy, vitality, and a sense of well-being. I like to summarize farm business success in turbulent times as embrace change plus true urgency equals opportunity.
You can learn more about human resource management from Dr. Milligan's articles in our print magazine and online at www.progressivedairy.com. Thank you, Dr. Milligan, for joining us today, and we look forward to hearing from you again.
Thank you, Karen.